Sheesh. I be wild.
What's up, y'all? We're back with another video. Today we got Jimmy High Roller. This needs to stop. And you see off the bat, this first thing on the screen. Okay. Giannis wouldn't have enough force back then. That one is actually funny because
the good old
he got
hot
traded.
take, the necessary evil of the sports world.
That's
through the good
another
ones,
team in like
the
5
bad
years.
ones, and the downright atrocious ones. We once again find ourselves racking our brains, trying to figure out how some people come up with this nonsense. But today, I've done the brain racking for you and found some of the hottest NBA takes on the internet. So, buckle up. This may be a bumpy ride. This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform that works with Platonic and Static Analytics for this member their work uses with Squarespace or domain. Scrub through NBA social media and search for a new batch of hot takes. And to no surprise, what I found was downright appalling. Now, I'm no expert or anything, and I've definitely had my fair share of bad takes, but some of y'all should seriously have your accounts deactivated for the absolute tomfoolery y'all are posting on these pages. And after sifting through hundreds of takes, here's some of the best and worst that I came across. With rumors of Kyrie Irving leaving the Brooklyn Nets floating around over the past week, this first take speaks volumes to how I think a lot of NBA fans are feeling at the moment. And it might just be one of the best hot takes I've seen in a while. This NBA fan says that super teams and super team-ups bore him now. And I'm right there with him. After the renaissance of successful homegrown teams in the NBA over the last couple of years, I don't know if I can take any more breaking news of 2 or more superstars potentially teaming up. I can't do it. And that's just the reports of these potential super teams. The actual team-up of superstars are even more boring than the news itself. I mean, just look at how the last few blockbuster team-ups have gone. Kyrie and Durant, absolute shambles. Add James Harden, even bigger bust. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I'm not even joking when I say this. Sometimes I actually forget they're even on the same team.
I swear.
3 seasons in and nothing to show for it.
Nothing.
Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook, first round exit. Joel Embiid and James Harden, too early to tell, but still bounced out of the second round. The last time a
Okay, if James Harden and Joel Embiid get it together, it will be the best duo if they get it together.
Superstar team-up worked was in 2020 when the Lakers won the championship. But ever since then, they've been a mess. Honestly, I hope the whole super team, superstar team-up thing is just a phase the NBA has been going through, and that it will end soon. It's played out, and it creates unnecessary hype around teams that, more often than not, accomplish virtually nothing. This is a really good take. This next take comes from a fan that seems to be fed up with the entire state of the NBA right now. This fan says that today's NBA has the weakest stars. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Ben Simmons, LeBron James. They also play...
Okay. This list is reasonable. But my man LeBron James, stop disrespecting
in the weakest era. Now, in all honesty, this fan isn't completely wrong, but he's not completely right either. If we're referring to their skill sets and abilities, no, stop. Today's NBA is as loaded as it's ever been. Organizations used to build around tall wings with a tight handle and a three-point shot in their bag. Now they're just a dime a dozen. 25 years ago, if you could find a 7-footer who can shoot from outside 20 feet and not dribble the ball off their feet, they were a unicorn. Now those attributes are pretty much a requirement for most big men. It's just the natural progression of the game. Players use the generation before them as the blueprints and they build off of it. The league is so loaded right now that you've got first ballot Hall of Famers like Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Chris Paul, and LeBron James receiving virtually no regular season MVP votes. Just to make an All-NBA team, you have to put up a damn near 20-point double-double. This past season, Pascal Siakam barely squeaked into All-NBA third team, and the man averaged 23, 8, and 5 a game. 23, 8, and 5, and the man almost didn't make the cut. The NBA is exploding with talent right now, and if you believe otherwise, I implore you to just go watch a game. But I do think that the other half of this take has some validity to it. Mentally, psychologically, yeah. It does seem like some of today's NBA players are mentally weaker than some NBA players from the past. Raging on social media, replying to tweets from fans, replying to tweets from members of the media, replying to tweets from other players, complaining about every other call, or no call for that matter. So, yeah, I don't want to overgeneralize, but it really does feel like the NBA has gotten softer or weaker in that department. But let's be honest, if Twitter existed in the 80s and 90s, you cannot convince me that guys like Shaq or Dennis Rodman or Gary Payton wouldn't clap back at fans. I just saw Shaq slam dunk a fan on Twitter the other day. So this take isn't bad, but it isn't good.
And then try to be humble about it.
That's why I would say it's kind of refreshing to see Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He doing his thing. I mean, I was like skeptical because, he couldn't make a jump shot free throw, but after what he did last year,
Charles
he won me
Oakley,
over. I was, because I know even like he wouldn't have been a force back in the day.
What?
That's
Would or would not? Would or would not?
He wouldn't have been a
Charles
force.
Oakley,
He wasn't be doing no Europe to the basket like he doing. You'll step to the basket and just get layup. No, somebody gonna knock his head off.
Because they was
He didn't come on the
fouling.
bench back in the days.
Yo, come on.
That's kind of heavy.
Come on.
All right, the first time I was like, maybe.
Two-time MVP coming off the bench, Giannis? Who's guarding Giannis during your time?
Well, if he playing, I'm guarding being power forward, the next power forward. It didn't matter.
He would tear Charles Oakley the fuck up.
But he wouldn't have been, 50 and can't make a free throw or jump shot. No, he'd be at the free throw line.
Why do we do this? What does Charles Oakley have to gain by taking a shot at Giannis? Coming off the bench? If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. All-time great players would be great in any era. They would adjust their game accordingly. That's what makes them great. This would be the equivalent of saying Shaq wouldn't be dominant in today's NBA because he doesn't have an outside shot. It's just ridiculous. Do you really think you're stopping this, Charles? Or this? Or this? Awesome. You know how to clothesline a guy and put him on his back.
Exactly.
Congrats. Now Giannis knows this is coming, and next time he comes down the court, he's going to Euro step past you and punch one in on your head. Or better yet, he'll just go right into your chest full speed and get the call every single time. Physical defense does not automatically mean good defense. In fact, a lot of the times it means the exact opposite.
What is that?
When you can't guard a guy, you end up just hacking him. And aside from the all-time great bigs we all know from Oakley's era, who exactly were these amazing bruisers that Giannis would be coming off the bench behind? Charles Oakley's best season in the NBA was in 1994. He was an all-star in that year. The starting power forwards across the league looked like this. Giannis is not
So y'all mean to tell me? Yeah, Charles Oakley
only arguably bigger than every single starting power forward back then. The vast majority of these guys were just role players. Look at the Bucks starting power forward in 1994. Frank Brickowski. You're gonna tell me with a straight face that Giannis is coming off the bench for Frank Brickowski? Stop it. In terms of size and athleticism, the closest thing to Giannis in Oakley's era was probably David Robinson. And in the 22 games Oakley and Robinson faced off over the course of 13 seasons, Robinson averaged 22, 10, and 3 a game to Oakley's 10 and 9. Were there a lot of dominant big men in the 90s? Yeah, of course. Would Giannis have been one of those dominant big men?
Dropped 30
yeah,
on him.
Of course. And to round out this episode of Hot Takes, this next one is a scorcher. After going back and retroactively looking at the 7-game series of the 2016 NBA Finals, this NBA page begs the question: Were the 2016 finals really all that exciting? Or was it a snooze fest up until Game 7?
Stop it. Get some help.
I assume most people watching this video right now were fans of the NBA in 2016, which
Yes,
means I could probably assume most of you watched this series in real time.
Yeah.
And if you did, you know how exciting this final series
Yeah,
was
whoever
from
said that
start
was
to
smoking
finish.
crack.
Sure, by just looking at this series through the narrow lens of
off
just the
that
final
80s
score,
juice.
it looks like it wasn't all that exciting. In 6 of the 7 games, the winning team won by double digits. 2 of the 7 games ended in a blowout of 30 points or more. But are we already so removed from the series that we can't simply recall how incredible it was?
Warriors
It's
lost
not like
3
we're talking
times in a
about
row.
the epic Celtics comeback over the Lakers in the damn 1962 NBA Finals. This was 6 years ago. In Game 1, the Warriors won by a decisive 15 points. But going into the 4th quarter, this was a 6-point game. Games 2 and 3 were complete blowouts, but the fact that 2 teams could walk each other by 30 points in back-to-back games in the finals was a compelling subplot in itself. Once the Cavs won Game 3, it really brought life back into the series. Game 4 had 2 lead changes in the 4th quarter. It wasn't until about 4 minutes left in the 4th that the Warriors broke away from the Cavs. Game 5, by itself, had enough excitement to make this entire series a certified hardwood classic. Kyrie and LeBron both going for 41 points. Klay and Steph combining for 61. 6 minutes, 39 seconds left in the 4th. And this was a 2-possession game. This doesn't look like a snooze fest to me. And from this point on, just the idea of a team coming back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals set the NBA world on fire. It is insane to even think they pulled this off even 6 years after the fact. And it was even more insane in the moment. This take might just go down in the bad take Hall of Fame. But unfortunately, that's all the racking my brain can handle in one sitting. Make sure to leave your NBA hot takes in the comments below. Of course, the hotter, the better. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, until next time.
That's another video from my man Jimmy High Roller. Original video will be down below if y'all want to check it out. Give some love to my man Jimmy. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.